Since the dawn of time, man has fought man, whether it be war or one-on-one combat, and the fighting spirit is born within every human being. And with that being said, the sport of fighting has evolved over the centuries to become a spectator event. That's why in the late 90s, the Japanese took the sport of fighting to the next level. They created Pride Fighting Championships, a venue where real men could do battle for not only the right to be called the world's best fighter, but also a competition for one's pride.
The Pride Fighting Championships is the best organization in the world.
It's a good event, it's a big event, you know, and right now I think it's the best event ever.
It's the best company, they have the best fighters, and definitely the toughest competition. So it's like, if you consider yourself a very serious fighter, that's the place to be fighting.
You'll get to see a lot of different kinds of athletes doing a lot of different things, and it's entertaining.
Pride's a great show, and as an organization, as a show, as a pay-per-view event, as a live event, they've got you know, one of the premier shows on the planet. It's a treat to watch.
Japan is the country where it all started. The samurai, it came from Japan. The Japanese people, they love the fighters. If they win or they lose, they don't care. You know, so if you are a fighter and you go to Pride, which is the biggest organization in the world, you have a chance to fight there. And then even when you lose, you're in their eyes still a winner because you're a warrior. You had the guts to get into the ring. That's the best feeling in the world.
Pride Fighting Championships searches the world over to find the best fighters in boxing, karate, wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu. Whatever fighting technique there is, you'll find it in Pride.
We get styles to fight styles. And we want the guy who's hot, who's mean, who's got an attitude right now. Let's give him a shot.
It's as close to real fighting as you can possibly get. It is the greatest one-on-one sport you can ever imagine. And I mean, it's damaging, it's rough, it's tough, but we're fighters. That's what they do.
When you have two boxers fighting, they both tend to be boxers. I mean, yeah, they have different styles in boxing, but it's still two guys punching each other. But I think in Pride, you'll have guys from totally opposite backgrounds. You know, you might have a wrestler with a boxer or something. And it's kind of interesting to see how different styles of athletes, their skills can mesh together and, you know, determine a winner that way. It's fun to see.
There's many ways to defeat another opponent, and punch them in the face is not the only way, you know. And these guys that you see out there are the best of the best, and you'll see things you never saw before as far as trying to win. It's not a boxing match, it's not a kickboxing match, it's not wrestling, it's not jiu-jitsu. It's a combination of all of these sports put together in one, and it's the best in the business, and everybody wants to go home a winner.
Fights are held between different styles under one rule. Everything is accepted. But Pride doesn't accept everybody. Only the top fighters in the world are invited to compete in the Pride ring. And the utmost importance is the safety of the fighters. So the rules are in place so that the Pride fights you see are as real as you can get.
If they see blood, they stop the fight. They have like 3 doctors right away coming. They check up with the opponent, they see if he's okay, and then they restart the fight.
I mean, we're not in there trying to pull each other's eyes out or trying to kill each other or anything like that. And I'm out there trying to win the fight, but my first and foremost thought isn't to kill my opponent, it's to win the fight.
There's never been a death in this, and there's 5 deaths a year in boxing, you know, and then you get a lot of deaths in football. A lot more injuries in other sports than in the Pride and the mixed martial arts.
If somebody's on top, like in a mounted position, and he starts punching on his opponent and the opponent doesn't answer, doesn't block 3 punches, he doesn't even have to be knocked out, the referee will pull him off already before he gets knocked out.
And one of the most important men in there is the referee, he will determine when an opponent's had enough, and you can also determine it yourself. You control your own destiny.
That referee's job is to stop me from beating his ass. Or if I'm stunned, I want the referee. I don't want the guy to knock my head off and kill me.
You go down, you're dizzy, that means in a real street fight, you would lose because there's no referee. So the referee stops the fight, the fighter gets protected.
When you put 2 men in a ring, both skilled in the sport of fighting, who have trained their entire lives for this moment, with one thing on their mind, to win, you have a Pride fight. There are many different types of sports around the world, but none with the explosive power of a pride fight.
Fighting is not my life, but fighting is a love in my life.
It's my way of living. Fighting is what I like the most. I can't picture myself doing nothing else but fighting.
That's my job, and I love my job. It's the greatest job on earth. It's the best job on earth, man.
It beats the hell out working for a living, though, that's for sure.
It's all here in Pride Fighting Championships.
See, a lot of people, they ask you, what you're gonna be when you're growing up. People say, firefighter, policeman. What do you be growing up? I wanna be a fighter.
It's about two men from two totally different backgrounds. I don't know whether you have a wife, a kid, or nothing, they don't care. I want to kick your butt. And if you don't want to kick my butt, then it's going to be a boring fight because I'm going to close your eyes. Pride is the best organization in the world.
Fighters from around the world train their entire lives with the hopes of one day being invited to fight in Pride Fighting Championships. When they enter the Pride ring, it is the survival of the fittest. Not the strongest in a particular style, but the strongest of all combative sports.
Everybody says tough man. I'm like, it's not tough man. That's what boxing gloves on. It's 1 minute rounds, a bunch of barroom brawlers.
I mean, we can use kicks and knees on the ground. When the opponent is down, you can kick him in the head, you can knee him in the head. I mean, this is very heavy stuff.
If I feel like myself in a bad situation, then I have to keep going. Doesn't matter what the consequence is going to be.
Now, you may find some fights disturbing, others fascinating, but you will always be on the edge of your seat while watching a Pride fight. These men have trained many long years just to step into the Pride ring. And once they're there, they may be looking to destroy their opponent, but they have the utmost respect for each other. Pride Fighting Championships does extensive research to find out not only the top fighters, but the top fighters from around the globe. Whether from America, Japan, Brazil, Mexico, Russia, Croatia, Canada, just about every country has someone who claims to be the best fighter in the world. And Pride Fighting lets them try to prove it.
I want to fight everyone that's big. And if I lose like a man.
It's fun to defeat somebody that doesn't want to be defeated.
It's almost the truest art form I think you can get closest to true competition, man versus man.
This isn't TV choreographed.
I just wanted to fight the best fighters.
But it's as close to mano-y-mano, knuckling it up and getting your issues out as you can get.
I enjoy the fact that your opponent isn't somebody just going to go in there and lay down. You have to impose your will upon them.
Within the ring of Pride, you'll find real athletes with real fighting skills, warriors who have dedicated their lives to a particular style of fighting. All of these styles come together to prove just who is the strongest fighter in the world. And that question will be answered within the ring of Pride Fighting Championships, where real men vow to fight for their pride.
The best thing that God could give me are enemies. So that pushes us forward to get better and to be able to improve ourselves in order to beat them.
They're very well trained. They train for situations like that every day, 2 or 3 times a day.
Wins make me feel very exciting, complete myself.
Boxing and all the other stuff, that's all good and dandy, but when you come to watch a Pride show, you're gonna see someone get their butt kicked.
It's 2 people who choose to be there. In the ring, they signed a contract, they trained, he trained, the other one trained.
The fans can always expect a good show when they watch Pride.
That's it. The fun part comes fight night when you can feel that win within your grasp.
So discover what millions of fight fans already know. There's no fight like a Pride fight.
There's just a lot of action, and both guys want to win. Both guys train as hard as possible.
Pride's just blowing up. We're gonna blow this whole thing up.
And it's the most basic form of competition.
So that is the allure of it, is who's going to go down, who's going to be the bigger man, who's going to take damage and continue on. That's the story.
If you want to see real fighting for what it really is, watch Pride.